Hey, what's up everyone? So this is Diablo 3 on the PC. This is another game that I play aside from the usual Aliens vs Predator games on my channel every now and then. So this is a game I got into, I think, back in 2016 or 2017, I believe. It's a really long time ago. But I got into the PC version in 2019 because the console version wasn't as good as the PC version. So I transferred over to the PC a couple of years ago and I kind of stuck with it. But the issue I had with Diablo 3 was they have updates every 3 months to actually go along with the seasons. But the issue is that different classes would get buffed in different ways and other classes would get nerfed into the ground because they're considered too powerful or too overpowered in some sense. But the Wizard has always been my favorite class in these types of games. I always wanted to get into Skyrim, but I feel like that game is just too huge for me. Like there's just too much stuff to do. But Diablo 3 is a bit more simple, and I think it's a bit more chaotic and more fast-paced compared to Diablo 2. I know I'm just running around slowly because of my build right here, but I can't teleport. But when you look at the end game version of Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, I feel like Diablo 3 is more rush compared to Diablo 2. So yeah, this is a game I played for a couple of years. I don't play it on my channel just because my channel does not focus on this type of game. But I thought I would make one special video because recently the Diablo 3 team released a new update to go along with the new Season 27 theme. But I play non-season. I always play non-season. I've never played a season because I don't have time or a group to play season play with, 4 or 6 hours a day. I just can't do that. So I play non-season with my Wizard all the time. And it's been about 3 years. And this is how far I've gotten my Wizard so far. So with the new update they have, along with Season 27, they have a few buffs for the Tal Rasha set for the Wizard, and it's gotten really powerful, more powerful than the unnerfed version of the Firebird build with mirror images about, I think, 9 months ago. Yeah, so I stopped playing this game last year. I think it was last year sometime. Or was it 6 months ago? I'm not sure, but yeah. I made a post and I said I was not going to play this game anymore for a very long time, simply because the Wizard was getting nerfed all the time and it was the weaker of all the classes, and it was kind of shunned upon to use a Wizard in 4-player group play, at least when you're pushing the higher level difficulties of Greater Rifts. So it got to a point where I'm always playing by myself, really. So I do have a couple of 4-player records on my character profile, but most of the time I spent on Diablo 3 has been just mainly playing solo as my Wizard, even though for the past couple of years it's been very weakened in terms of power compared to other classes. But with the new recent update, the Tal Rasha set is looking like the most powerful build ever. Like, it is really good, and there's different variations of this one. Of course, you can slap on different passives, different skills, different gear, but overall it's a meteor build. That's what it is, and it's gotten so good that I finally was able to push a Greater Rift level 143 with my Wizard in non-season. So of course in season play you get a buff, which makes it a little bit easier because you get stronger for playing season play. But I only play non-season just because I play by myself most of the time, and I don't commit to 10 hours a day or 30 hours a week. I can't do that. So that's why non-season is my preferred game mode. So I'm always trying to see how my Wizard can get stronger, get better gear with slightly better stats. But from what I see now, I'm having a lot of fun playing this. It's fun. I like this build, and I'm trying different versions of it, kind of mess around with different gear, passives, and skills, and kind of see if I can tweak it a little bit better and make it stronger for group play or even for solo play. So right now I do have one build meant for group play and one build meant for solo pushing the Greater Rifts. But there's a couple of issues in Diablo 3 that I want to address. So one main thing is this build relies a lot on area damage. So the issue with area damage in Diablo 3 has always been the lag. Not in solo play, but mainly in group play. You can have some area damage on your gear, but area damage in your Paragon is what really tends to lag the servers for some odd reason in group play. So if you access the Paragon menu, which is the P key by default on the keyboard, you have this menu here. Now if you're playing solo and your class or build is meant for area damage, you can use all the area damage you want. But when you play with a group, just take off all the points off area damage, and that should help the lag issue on the servers. I don't know why it causes lag on the servers, but it just does. But if you're playing in a group, just take off area damage through the Paragon points. You can have some area damage on your gear. You might notice a little bit of lag maybe on some occasions, but it's more manageable that way. So at least when you turn it off on Paragon, then at least you did what you could. Now the other issue I want to address with this build is, of course, the cool visual effects that make it a little bit hard to see the target or a specific enemy you want to hit for your DPS phase. So when the meteors smash into the ground, you see they cause these icicles to form upward from the ground, and they also leave a mist on the ground. And when there's so many effects like this, it is hard to see. But it's really cool, it's fun. But if you're playing in a group, you might want to fix that issue. Now if you go into the video settings of the game, all you have to do is look for this box called Low FX and check the box, and that will help your performance and visibility issues. This is a comparison so you can see what the change is afterwards. When you check that box, it's going to remove the icicles and the mist that form on the ground after the meteor impacts the floor. So after this update, I feel like now I can finally contribute and do some decent damage on mobs and also on the bosses. Because in Diablo 3, there's something they call the 4-player meta, which means in 4 players, if you're trying to push the higher Greater Rift difficulties up to 150, then each player is actually supposed to play a specific class with a specific build and play a specific way to maximize their crowd control, their damage on the mobs, and also damage on the bosses. But since I only play as Wizard, that is my only role in the game, just to do damage on bosses or on the mobs. And for a long time, it seemed like whatever strong build the Wizard would get, eventually it would get nerfed into the ground and then it's unusable. So I still kept playing Wizard for a long time, and now I feel like, okay, now I can play online with a bunch of other people and actually help out in some way. So yeah, it's a lot more fun and enjoyable now because of this update. So that's what I think they should do with future updates. They should patch or at least buff all the other builds that are very weak and underwhelming, because you don't want to go online with your favorite build, but then you get kicked or ignored, or no one wants to play with you because they say your build is too weak, you should change your build to another build, and you don't want to. I mean, what you want to do with this game is be able to play many different builds that are useful, not just one specific build. And that seems to be the trend in Diablo 3 with their updates. They buff one set to make it very strong, then you play it for 3 months, and then they nerf it, which is not the way to go. I mean, it's better if they buff all the other builds so everyone is on equal footing so they can all help in 4-player games and nobody is left out. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Another shall rise from the fires, a dark priest consumed by the crucible.